How to win a game of League of Legends while dealing no damage. You may think that sounds like clickbait, but it's really not. For this video to be clickbait, I'd have to not tell you how to win a game while dealing no damage, but it's actually really simple. You want to know the answer? Just play Galio. Currently, Galio is an incredibly strong tank in League, one of the strongest that we've seen in a while. I might actually say he's the best tank in the game right now, and when I say best, mind you, I mean that in two different ways. Firstly, he is the best possible pick if you need a tank for your team. He's super strong, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a champion who fulfills the tank role better than him, but I also mean he's the best design tank that we've seen in quite a while. He's really good right now to a point where a lot of people would probably argue he's breaking the game and needs to be nerfed, but he's the first ever tank that breaks the tank role, not by doing something he shouldn't, but through just being a good tank. If you remember the last time we had overpowered quote-unquote tanks in League, then you probably have nightmares of pre-nerf Poppy and pre-rework Maokai. These were tanks who were busted, but they were busted for all the wrong reasons. A tank in League of Legends is supposed to be someone who tanks damage by disrupting an enemy team and forcing the enemy to attack them in pretty much any way other than dealing damage. This can be through crowd control, through taunts, through some other buff or nerf to a team, like providing an attack speed slow to enemies or shields to your allies. Maokai and Poppy did a few of these things pretty well, and they were very tanky. I mean, they were practically unkillable, but what they really excelled at was spamming enough abilities that they dealt more damage over time than a lot of other top laners. Damage is the one thing you're not supposed to be able to do as a tank. Their little bit of DPS and a few repeatable abilities allowed them to rack up some pretty huge numbers while also never dying because they're tanks. If you need an old example for a better design tank, then look at someone like Shen. Shen's kit has a lot of abilities that are almost all exclusively for helping teammates or himself. A good taunt to engage, of course, his incredible ultimate. Hell, the only damage dealing ability that he has is just as much about wave clearing as it is dealing damage to an enemy team. Shen's a really balanced tank because of this, where all of this focus on good utility allows him to be a really viable pick in solo queue and competitive play if you're good enough with him, but he never really feels busted. I mean, when was the last time you banned Shen? Galio is maybe the first overpowered tank that we've seen that falls into that second category, where he's not overpowered because he's a tank that's dealing too much damage, but instead he's a tank that's too good at being a tank. He has wave clear, he has a taunt, he has engages, he has disengages, he can protect a teammate by giving % damage reduction with a nearly global ultimate that can also be used as a secondary engage. He has it all. So today I want to show you guys a good example of just what he can do to affect a game while dealing minimal damage, and why he might be one of the best champions to learn macro play with if you're trying to find someone good that you can use to learn shot calling and rotations. This is a game that I played a couple of days ago versus a Rumble top lane, and right away, very early on in the game, I pull a CLICKBAIT 99 and fuck up early. I expect Galio to deal damage because I'm an idiot, but instead I don't deal damage, and I end up giving an early 300 gold to Rumble, where he goes off with this 300 gold. He snowballs this harder than I've ever seen anyone snowball any early lead. He would go 6-0-5 early on, I think by like the 20-minute mark, and he dealt double the damage that I did this game, participating in just as many fights as I did. But even so, I would outplay him from here on out and manage to help carry this game even against his crazy damage with, I mean, this was probably the first half-decent macro game I've ever had. It all starts off with my teammates getting caught out on a gank bot lane that leads to a double kill and an early Infernal Drake. Rumble teleported, maybe unnecessarily, so I respond by taking first tower top lane and begin trying to roam and shot call for my team. Rumble is honestly doing work with how much DPS he has at the moment. Early on, 2-0-3 is his score, but I try and stay level-headed. I get a good ultimate off here that leads our team to getting 3 kills, 75% of our team's kills at the moment, and I do my best to give them all to our teammates, along with a little bit of positive reinforcement, since at this point in the game people were saying let's open mid. The reason I single out Galio in particular as a champion who's great for shot calling compared to all the other tanks is because he's such a strong team fighter throughout an entire match. In instances like this, the enemy team can't really really engage when they waste abilities and ultimates on me, and I pose such a threat that we're basically guaranteed to win a fight if they hard engage, so our team's able to just chase after them, get a couple of kills, and we pick up the second Infernal Drake, making sure they don't snowball away with the game. This overwhelming strength in Galio's kick comes mostly from all the stacking crowd control that he has, and just how easy it is for him to engage with it. He can lock down a team, setting up for free kills whether he has his ultimate up or not, and do so relatively easily and safely since he is a tank. He can take plenty of damage. In this example, we're able to get a few kills, a tower, and then tower dive a Fizz past his second turret, where after getting that kill, we take a very important inner turret and our first gold lead of the game. This level of chase and engage is pretty hard to find on most other champions, be they tanks or anyone else. Next up, we get another amazing ultimate that ends up netting us a kill and an assist. One thing I really didn't understand about Galio when his rework first came out was his ultimate. It doesn't seem that good since you have such a long time to get out of it and dodge it, and even if you get hit, the damage isn't too insane or anything. But what really makes this ulti great is the damage reduction it gives to the teammate you use it on. You can save so many people from dying with it if you're paying attention every single time it's up. Saving a teammate from death is just like you're getting a kill for your team. That's denying 300 gold from the enemy that they would have otherwise gotten, and after getting one of those kills for our team, I made a call to push down mid and take an inhib turret, which my team really didn't want to do at the time, but it ended up paying off just moments later. This might be my favorite moment of the game. We see the enemy going for a 1-3-1 split, but I know that Rumble doesn't have teleport, so I spam ping for my team to engage. All we have to do is run it down mid here and chase the enemy team, where if they try and turn or try and defend, then I can engage and win a fight easily. If they don't, then we can take a free inhibitor, only trading an inner turret bot lane for it, and that's exactly what happens. This is again why Galio is so great if you're learning shot calling. The amount of engage and teamfight presence that you have allows you to punish the hell out of little mistakes like this, where if I was a bruiser or someone like Aurelia maybe, that might not have been the case. After all that, the Katarina on our team goes down bot lane to deal with Rumble and manages to kill him off, where he has teleport up but now he's dead, so I call for our team to go do Baron and start it, but tell them to immediately disengage and fight the enemy team when they show up to defend, and we do that exactly. This is, I don't know if better teams would make this kind of obvious engage when we're just trying to bait them by starting a Baron, but that, you know, our MMR is still pretty bad, but to our credit, we play this fight right. We combo our ultimate with a nice recon engage and set up for a flash taunt to get some kills, and then we go on a wild goose chase to chase down Jhin and force him to flash, and then after doing that, rotate bot lane for another tower. We can actually just keep on going since our team fight is so strong, and even though we're even on kills, we have so much more gold than the enemy team with our solid objective play. On top of that, the amazing tankiness that Galio brings to the table just lets us win the game outright. Now, I don't want to take anything away from my teammates this game. They did a great job, but they did have some mistakes that I am intentionally omitting from this video because I kind of want to be respectful, and I was the one that was doing a lot of the pings and making most of the calls. This game was like a eureka moment for me where I realized that when you play Galio, you can just do whatever the hell that you want, and that's why he probably has that tilting, strutting walk. I also want to say that this Rumble played a hell of a game. He finished at 6-2-5, and again, he dealt double the damage that I did, but the fact that I was playing Galio in particular led me to get an opportunity to still carry the game with a lot of different tools, but definitely not with damage. All you tank players and Galio mains that have made it to the end of this video are probably watching me and saying something along the lines of, well, duh. Like, everyone always knows this, and I'm sure every tank player knows this, and I just take forever to learn things in League of Legends sometimes and figure out parts of the game that I misunderstand. But I think it's still hard to deny that tanks in League of Legends can be a little lackluster if they aren't broken, especially. Like, a lot of the stuff that I mentioned in this video still holds true. If you're even, or if you're ahead, then great, go ahead, make these engages, make these plays. But on most other tanks, they're ill-equipped to come back from massive deficits that you might accidentally create for yourself with stupid mistakes that you make early on, like letting your opposing top laner do things like snowball a score to 6-0-5. I mean, I just found a tank I like playing, and I'm pretty excited, so I had to make a video about it. I hope you guys still enjoyed watching. I'll see you all tomorrow in our next video, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.